Sports parents, I have a question for you. Would you rather your child be overlooked or overhyped? This is your first time here. I am Coach Jay. This is the Champions Pedigree, where it is all about mental toughness for young athletes. It's a great question that was posed to me, and for me, it's a no-brainer, but let me just explain the difference between the two, how I see it, and how really the world class will define the two. Let's start with overhyped. When you are overhyped, you're probably overly interested in rankings, where you rank in your different sports, or you're overly into, or your child is overly into the perception that they have in the public eye, or if they're at a certain level in the media, they listen to what people say. When you're overlooked, you don't care about what someone really has to say about you, whether they believe in you or not. And 9 times out of 10, you're being overlooked because they think you're not qualified, or you're not capable of competing at a certain level. Now, for me, if I had to choose for myself or one of my children, I would want them to be overlooked. Now, as a parent, that may sound kind of crazy, but here's why I say that. When you're overlooked, as someone who has been overlooked most of their life, just when it comes to specifically in athletics, academics, just my corporate world, in the corporate world, professional life, career, so on and so forth, constantly overlooked, which is fine. It used to bother me, but it does not anymore, and I'll tell you why. When you approach whatever it is, let's say sports, when you approach your sport and you are overlooked, you got a chip on your shoulder. It's like you know you deserve to be there, and it's not that I want a chance so I can show them, but I want a chance so I can prove it to myself. And I'm not gonna let obstacles, I'm not gonna let circumstances, I'm not going to let inconveniences determine or distract me from approaching the game, or approaching the match, or approaching what it is that I'm attempting to do, or become, or accomplish. I'm not going to let that hinder me. I'm not going to let anything take me off the path to get there. I'm not going to let anything deter me from becoming that person who can do the thing. And so when you are overlooked, you're willing to be gritty. You're willing to put the work in. You're willing to do that because, number one, no one's expecting it anyway. But number two, you know you can, and you know that you don't want to let yourself down. So when we look at someone who is possibly overhyped, there is a unbalanced attention into what is everybody else saying? What do they think about me? Am I do they expect me to play at this level all the time? And they can be so enamored with other people's opinions about them, or what someone says, or if someone says something negative. If you're overhyped, it doesn't take long to get you off your game, because 1 or 2 things may go wrong in the game, and people start doing this, start chatting. It's easy to start listening to that chatter. And so your focus is outward, whereas when you're overlooked, the focus is inward. So if I had to choose what I want my child to be, I don't want them to care about the noise. The noise is just that. It's noise. All I want them to do is to focus on what the goal is, what the assignment is, what the objective is of that particular practice, of that particular training session, of that particular game, of that particular season. That's where the focus is when you are overlooked. Now, people will call you overhyped if you come in and you got all this press, and you have all the accolades and the people talking about you, and you're really good, and that's fine. But if it ever gets difficult, let me rephrase, when it gets difficult, it's hard to come back to that and play at the level that you know you can play at, or for your child to play at the level that they know they can play at, because they're listening to the noise. So one of the things that we teach in our private groups are how to block out the noise, how to block out what everybody else is saying and to really hone in on the things that you need to hear so that you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish. Maybe you just need that and you don't want to be overlooked. You don't care about being overlooked, and that's fine. Whatever side you're on, you need the skill. And someone that can teach it to you is just not even open for discussion. So you need to do that. If you're a sports parent, I suggest that you get someone that can guide your child in that area so that they don't get distracted by the noise. I'm Coach Jay. This is the Champions Pedigree, where it is all about mental toughness for young athletes. Until next time, I will see you. Drop a comment below. I read and respond to all of them, or you can send me a DM if you have any additional questions, and I'd love to talk to you there. All right, peace.